Hey everyone, and welcome back to Night Combos.
Welcome back. Hubby's here.
Yeah, hubby's here. Anyway, we wanted to say real quick, and I know y'all probably do get tired of saying. Y'all get tired of saying this. Y'all probably get tired of hearing this, and I'm sorry, but not sorry. But we really do want y'all to know we truly appreciate all of you so very much. All of the subscribers that's been with us from the very beginning all the way to now, and all of our new subscribers. Oh, y'all, our little YouTube family is growing. We are a little over 2,070 subscribers. So we truly hope that we can reach 3,000 subscribers in our little YouTube family, before Thanksgiving or by Thanksgiving or something.
3,000.
Not 3,000. I am so sorry. Well, I mean, that would be great. That would be great. But I meant 2,100. Hubby had to correct me on that. Y'all, my math don't ever math. I'm the English person in the family, okay? Hubby's the math whiz, all right?
I try to be.
That's what I meant. I'm so sorry. I mean, yeah, 3,000 would be absolutely wild and amazing.
That would be awesome.
But 2,100, we're trying to at least reach 2,100. So please, please, please help us out with that. If you're not already subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button, share, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos. And we would truly appreciate it. So y'all know that we were supposed to do this video or have it posted by yesterday, but we didn't get to, and we truly, truly apologize for that. It's because we got a phone call late yesterday evening that we have been waiting on. We were going to do the video without it, but then we got that call. So, we wanted to wait to post this video today so that we could get as many questions and answers in this video as possible about Gypsy's PO. Well, not about him, but, from him, questions and answers from him. So let's jump into this. I found this picture on Cajun Heart of Mine's TikTok page. Do y'all not see that? How weird that is? That's Dee Dee on the left wearing a pink dress. This very, very similar to this pink dress that Gyp is wearing from her baby shower.
Pretty weird.
Yeah, it really is odd. She keeps doing little things like that, like she has all along. Ever since she got out of prison, she does little weird things like that connect her back to her mom and everything. But you know what, Gyp, you'll always be known for unaliving your own mother and not having her anymore because of your selfishness. Anyway, we're that's not what this video is about, and we're not getting into that right now. But I do have a couple of things that we found that we're going to show y'all real quick, and then jump into the Q&A from the PO. Oh, and before we start, y'all, we got another super thanks. We did. And we truly, truly, truly greatly appreciate it. It helps us so very much. It helps our channel.
Yes, it does.
And yeah, it helps our channel and it helps us personally so very much. So, to that person, you know who you are, hubby and sweetie pie. Completely appreciate that so very much. That was so sweet of you. Thank you so, so very much for that. Okay, now we'll jump into this. Okay, so we wanted to play this real quick for y'all because it has to do with Gypsy's parole. And it'll give y'all a little bit of insight on the questions and answers, actually, that we got.
Yeah.
So, here's the first video clip. Gyp with her witch nose because she, Anyway, I'll just keep that thought to myself. But y'all check this out.
Why has Gypsy Rose not been caught up with Parole yet? I think I know why.
Sorry to pause it, but just notice this was posted on November 3rd, which wasn't that long ago. And the one we're going to show you next was posted 5 days ago by Lauren Cherie on TikTok.
She is so clearly in violation of her stipulations that people on TikTok and YouTube are uncovering. So why is nothing happening? I've heard a lot of comments that you guys think she's having a relationship with Justin Bucknell, her PO. I think we're asking the wrong question here. The right question would be, what does the parole office not want to be seen should a parole attorney come in there snooping around? Because that's exactly what would happen if Gypsy was blue warranted on a technical or a new charge. There's lots of steps up to the parole office. So usually you have the unit supervisor, you have the program supervisor, deputy director, director, and that's just the parole section.
Okay, y'all heard that right? The steps of just the parole section, just the parole office.
Then the parole board gets involved that has all of the same. And I don't think people realize the carte blanche that the parole office has. Unless it is a clear cut, hey, this person committed a new crime. A lot of it's at the parole officer, parole supervisor discretion. How would I know? That's where I worked for 10 years. So I think that's what's going on. I think my theory is it's a parole office. They don't want to get caught up on a high profile case like this. They have to be extremely, extremely careful. And unless she's out here committing clear cut crimes, I think they're turning a blind eye to a lot of the things that are obvious to us. Because they know if they try to get her on a technical anything, it's going to open a can of worms. And let me just say, I'm not accusing the parole office of there's something they don't want you to see. They're doing illegal things. I don't think it's that. I just think it's like their paperwork's not all, the office might be sloppy.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I think this is more of a plausible explanation than Gypsy Rose breaking it off for her parole officer. They probably figure we don't have that much longer to go. Just don't break any laws and don't. Why has Gypsy?
Okay, we're about to play the next clip for you because it has to do with Gyps. Again, her parole and the questions we ask, and it has to do with more or less the answers that we got. But real quick, speaking of parole, y'all, we actually caught Susan Smith's parole hearing this morning, and we have a video coming out about that, and we will briefly explain who she is and what she did for those of you who may not know. She murdered her two babies, her two sons. One was 3 years old and one was 14 months old. A year and 2 months, y'all. 3 years old and 14 months. By strapping them in their car seats and then driving her car down a boat ramp, which rolled into the water and drowned those two babies. This is another case that happened close to where Hubby and I used to live, years ago. We don't live near there anymore, but where we used to live, but and this is not the case that we have been telling you we are working on getting posted. This is a different one. But she's been in prison for 30 years at this point. The 3-year-old, y'all, was found with his little hands on his baby brother's car seat belt, on the belt of his baby brother's car seat, like he was trying to undo it. She stood there and listened to them cry for their mama. The 3-year-old crying out, "Mama, Mama," while her car slowly sank. She claimed she was trying to unalive herself as well, but jumped out of the car at the last minute and decided not to, apparently. That's what she says anyway. But there's so much more to this story. It has to be a separate video. It makes me emotional, y'all. I'm sorry. We will show you the boat ramp and so much more, but of pictures that we've gathered and stuff that we took. But we will get into that more when we post that video. Like, we're working on doing that this week. Her story, but like I said, we'll get into that more when we post that video. Her story while she's been in prison, and also the video we got of what her lawyer said, what she said, and the father of those two sweet, precious baby boys said. at Susan Smith's parole hearing this morning. So anyway, I just wanted to let y'all know that real quick. And we really do hope that all of y'all will be interested in and enjoy watching that video, as well as the one and all the other ones that are not about Dip Gyp, and the ones we still have that we're working on that are about Dip Gyp. We hope y'all enjoy them, whether they are about Dip Gyp or not. And we hope y'all enjoy this video as well. Okay, I'll play the next clip now. But just to let you know, she didn't get parole. But we're going to go over her story, though, the whole thing. Sorry about that, y'all. It just makes me mad. A 3-year-old baby having to try to undo the seatbelt, or that's at least what it looked like. Anyway, that's where his little arms were found, trying to undo the seatbelt of his baby brother, who was just crying, because he didn't know what to do. And he's sitting there hollering for his mom. Anyway, we're going to get into that in a separate video this week. Let's check this video out, though.
Parole is not happy with Gypsy Rose, and she's feeling the heat. Okay, so clearly, Gypsy Rose's elation of her parole, the mounting evidence can no longer be ignored. And Parole knows that. And her recent post, where she says that she is no longer going to be posting anything personal on social media for her mental health, was not her choice.
Y'all pay attention to that, because we found that out before we realized what Lauren Cherie was saying in her video.
Okay, let's look at it. Okay, so she writes, content update. I will no longer be posting personal content on this public platform. Since I was released, I've shared with supporters my hardships and achievements through the lens of a social media. However, I find myself at a crossroads that leads me to desire a more private life, sharing with only family and close friends these special moments. No, it's because Parole made you. I greatly appreciate all the support and anyone who's ever stood by my side. I will keep posting updates on my new memoir, My Time to Stand, as well as our seasons with Lifetime TV. Yes, because that is in connection to your gainful employment. Interesting here, okay? In addition to this public account, I have a private TikTok and Instagram at Cajun Heart of Mine, and will only accept requests from those I personally know. This decision was made with consideration to the well-being of my own mental health, that as well as the overall well-being of my family and daughter. We are all doing very well and are in good spirits, excited for our futures moving forward. Thank you. Okay, let's talk about that. Again, not her choice. She was told by Parole. They are letting her stay on for anything in connection to her gainful employment, like her book or her show, but they don't want her on personally, told by Parole. They are letting her stay on for anything in connection to her gainful employment.
For those of you who can't see this says it's comments from that post that Dip Gyp made, and it's saying, "Come on now, girl. See you next week, hon." And then someone said, "You'll be back. That book is coming out. You got to promote it." And Dip Gyp wrote, "That's what I said in the text. The only content will be for that of my book and series." That's because that's all her parole board, or her, not parole board, but her parole officer is allowing.
I meant like her book or her show, but they don't want her on personally. We'll get to that in a minute. So here are some of the recent things she's been doing that the parole office is not happy with. Contacting former inmates. So a former inmate friend of hers posted something pretty recently, I want to say within the last 6 weeks maybe, about Gypsy contacting her. And in Louisiana, parolees cannot have contact with felons. I'm not going to post it because last time I did, I got in trouble, but it was something not verbatim, okay? You're just jealous. I came out here.
She's talking about the post that Nadatha, Authentically Nadatha posted, where Dip Gyp private messaged her and said, "You're just mad that I came out here and blew up and you didn't. I'm not going to say any more for you to use against me. And I've heard you've been making videos about me." That's what Lauren Cherie is talking about.
And I'm doing very well and you are not. That's what it was. But the major one is the threat. This can land a person in complete revocation. Remember the I won't always be on parole video in regards to standing up for herself. So if she needs to not be on parole to stand up for herself, that right there is clearly but the cherry on top was her cohorts doubling down on a live saying that they will permanently delete people for her.
Yeah, someone had said that on one of Bree's lives, said that they would do that.
Yeah. So this is like a direct, okay? The parole office gets inundated with calls and emails about Gypsy. And they're just flooded with this information. But I think recently some of this information got directly to the source and they are reviewing it. And they've seemingly done nothing until now. And I'm going to get to why I think that is. So back to her private account due to the parole office restricting her social media use. So she has this private account, Cajun Heart, for people that know her, okay? She's still going to get her content out, but this is her way of pushing out her content by proxy. She'll employ her BFF and her stands that she's accepting to do this for her. You know, Gypsy always has other people do anything that has a risk for her. And on this private account, she'll still be able to receive TikToks that are about her, and she'll be able to respond to them on her burner accounts. And there are several. So why is the parole office inching towards holding Gypsy accountable now? Here are some theories. The first one, it might be political. They might have felt like if they revoked her in the past, they would get some type of public backlash that could potentially harm the 2024 local government election. But that's over, y'all. Or her parole attorney would dig around and highlight that the parole office possibly hasn't been doing their job, hasn't been doing what they were supposed to be doing to hold Gypsy accountable until all of a sudden with the pressure from the public. It could also be because it would shine a spotlight on the justice system that they messed up, particularly the sympathetic media and the politically driven district attorney Dan Patterson, and that she wasn't what they made her out to be. As the investigation was unfolding, which wasn't even complete, by the way, when they gave her her 10-year plea deal, they knew they messed up. They knew, but it was too late to turn back. And this is why they had her as a witness at next trial for the defense and not as a state witness. Lastly, could another agency be involved? Could a higher agency be involved investigating this and things are just kind of at a standstill? What people need to realize is Gypsy Rose is still serving her sentence. And I think people forget that.
Yeah.
Yes, she's out in the free world, but she has to abide by certain conditions and stipulations, and she is under supervision. The parole office is feeling the pressure and putting it on her. The evidence is too blatant to disregard. And Miss Gypsy Rose is running out of free passes. Parole is...
Okay, so y'all heard all of that. Don't forget any of it. You know, Lauren Shree said she had worked at the parole office for 10 years. So she understands a lot of this and knows a lot of this. Y'all heard her talk about how the parole office and stuff is getting bombarded with a lot of reports and stuff. They have gotten a lot of emails. They've received so many emails that they had to get other people to help go through all of them. But you know, they've gotten a lot of letters and emails and calls and stuff like that of people telling them about Dip Gyp's crime and while she was in prison and stuff like that, and how they feel about it and how they feel that she should be sent back or have no charges brought up on her, stuff like that, for the things that she done back when she unalived her own mother, things like that. But you know, those things are hard to get done, but they're being bombarded with things like that, which make it hard for people who are really trying to report real violations that she really has done as of very recently, and continues to do as of very recently, like knowing that Bree puts up on her lives and on her posts and stuff. Everything I say, I have permission from Gypsy Rose to talk about. Well, Gyp, your BFF Bree just keeps telling on you over and over again. Y'all can see our previous video on that where we show an example of how Bree ended up telling on Gyp. Christy keeps ending up telling on Gyp. She was on. We showed y'all a piece of the live that we happened to catch the other day. We have another piece of the live that we're gonna post as well, where Krusty Christy ends up telling on her. Ends up telling that, well, not telling on her as far as a violation, but tells on her as far as her life, what's going on in her life. But we're gonna post that after this video. Okay, so now getting into the questions and answers that we got from the PO and the director of the PO. So Gyp's supervising parole officer and his supervisor, the director. So these are the questions and answers, and we've been told anytime an actual report with proof behind it is made, he does have to make contact with Gyp. So that's good. Okay, so
We didn't like a lot of the answers that we got, though.
Yeah, that's true. So and y'all probably aren't going to either, but that's okay because there are people at state level now involved, from what we were told, and also from knowing that we've talked to people at the state level. So this isn't it. This video will not be the only one. But there are certain questions and conversations that we can't speak on yet, but we will be able to very soon. So again, make sure you're subscribed and have the notification bell turned on so you don't miss that or any of our videos. And we hope, like we said, we hope y'all enjoy this one as well as all of our videos, as well as these weird pictures, some weird pictures and whatever that are gonna go by on the screen as we do this. A lot of that stuff kind of involves pew-pews and being around them and just different things, but just to give you a little bit of information. But like we said, we will be able to speak on the rest of it very soon because this stuff is coming from just the state level, and we can't speak on that yet, but we'll be able to explain that in that video. So the first thing we were saying to the PO and the director, we spoke to both of them. And by the way, there, real quick, there's a creator on that has, I'm just gonna say this, there's a creator that has said that she's having problems getting in touch with the PO and stuff like that, but
And we have no problem whatsoever.
yeah, I mean, we have a video from a couple of months ago that we did where we had called and asked some questions. But yeah, we've never, even though they're bombarded with emails and letters and calls and stuff like that, every day about this, we never had an issue getting in touch with the PO or the director. Matter of fact, we even have their cell phone numbers. So I don't know what's going on with that situation, but just putting that out there, and we do have proof of that. We can back that up. So anyway, we started out with saying there's a lot of drinking going on. There was a lot of drinking going on at the family reunion, and drinking going on pretty much daily in Christy and Rod's house. And I mean, we all seen it on the documentary, but that also, we've seen posts and all that. So we all know that that's been going on. And we said, is that not against her parole? And the parole officer said, yes, it is. And that's when, because we were wanting definitive answers, like we were getting tired of getting the the thing of, well, this could go many different ways. We can't say how this will go. No, we wanted definitive answers. That's also why we went to state level as well. But he said yes, so that's when we said, and hubby and I both talked to them. We said, we know that it is. So why isn't anything being done about that? And that's when he said her social media has been shut down because they know that it was posted all over her social media. So they had seen the pictures and posts and stuff as well. And like y'all seen in those video clips of Lauren Cherie that we showed y'all at the very beginning, she was explaining why that would be done too, why her social media would be taken down. So the only thing he's allowing her to use her public social media platforms for is for her, what he considers her quote job, which is the documentary and her book. We did ask for how long it would be shut down for, and we couldn't find that out. We couldn't get that answer. He didn't know himself. He couldn't tell us that. So I don't know. Maybe he's still deciding on that, how long it'll be shut down for. We don't know, but we couldn't get an answer on that. So we said she has made threats while on a TikTok live that is everywhere on social media, where she said, I won't be on parole forever towards everyone, and said, y'all have me by the short and curlies on that one, which I know sounds funny, but we literally had to say this, verbatim, but, we said that, how she said on the live, like, yeah, I'm not able to defend myself right now. Y'all got me on by the short and curlies on that one, but best believe I won't be on parole forever. Anyway, they have a copy of that. They let us know that they have a copy of that. So yeah, that might be another reason why her social media was shut down. And we said that's a threat while on parole. Is it not? That's illegal. And y'all, I'm reading from the notes, so sorry, but yeah, we are reading from the notes because we literally wrote every single thing down word for word while we were on the phone call so that we could give it to y'all straight up, But we said that's a threat while on parole, is it not? That's illegal. She's done this multiple times on social media, saying when she's off parole is when she will be able to, quote, do something to the people that don't like her. Like she was making that threat to the public, to anyone that doesn't like her, or to anyone that makes content about her. We were told he is absolutely looking into it, and again, her social media has been shut down. But that wasn't good enough for us. Yeah, her social media has been shut down, but still, it's already been said and it's still out there. The threats have already been made. So what are you going to do now? He kept repeating the same thing. So again, that's why we went state level with this. But we asked him, so what can or is going to be done about this?
He told us this could go many different ways. It's literally up to the discretion of her supervising parole officer, which is him.
Yeah. So that's what the PO said. And then the director jumped in and said the same thing. It's literally up to the discretion of her supervising parole officer. But we'll get to the parole attorney in just a second, her parole attorney in just a second. But this is another, like I said, this is another reason we have went state level with this, above her PO and his supervisor, the director. So we went above both of them. Also, she has all over her social media going to restaurants where people she's with are drinking alcohol. Therefore, we don't know if she's drinking too. Hopefully not, if she's apparently pregnant, but we don't know. She's posted that on her social media pages many different times. she's posted the pictures of her with a pina colada drink. You know, we have that in a previous video, sitting right in front of her at a restaurant, you know, and I forgot what the quote is or what the quote was now, but they have that picture as well. But I forgot what the quote was now, but it, you know, she was talking about liking that drink or whatever. We also told him we've heard that Christy and Gypsy that we didn't have actual 100% proof on this. We've been told this by a few people, but we told him that we've heard that Christy and Gypsy have been getting into fights and arguments a lot, and that police have even been called from what we have been told, which he would know about if they have.
He said he couldn't speak on that right now.
Yeah, so that makes us wonder, have police been called out there, or have police been out there to her house? So we don't know. We don't know. We didn't get a definitive answer on that. Then we said it's on her TikTok right now. And again, remember, we've been talking to them for a few weeks now. So some of these questions, because we're reading them, you know, word for word, remember that we've been talking to them for a few weeks. So some of them sound like they're past tense, because at the time it was present tense when we were telling them about this. Like this next one, it's on her TikTok right now, which you count as her job. So are you not supposed to be supervising that? And at the time, it was on her TikTok at that time. And he said that they were looking into it and that her social media had been, shut down. Just please keep in mind that we're supposed to be talking to someone, again, that's at state level about this tomorrow. We wanted to at least give all of you an update because we didn't get this out yesterday, which we truly apologize for. We just received another phone call, like we were saying, late yesterday evening and didn't get a chance to get it out. So we apologize for that. But we told him also, Ken seems to be using drugs from what we've been told, and alcohol. I mean, we've seen him using alcohol. We've also seen him look like he's on something. We don't know for absolute sure about the drugs and stuff, but you can tell for the most part when someone is on something or not acting right. Like this is what we were telling them, you can tell when somebody's not acting right. And we asked, why is Gypsy allowed around that and to stay over at his house around that? And they said we can't do anything about Ken, but we are looking into her being around him for extended periods of time. So, in our opinion, this also may be why they broke up, like that's what you were saying, anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, we didn't say that to them. That's just what hubby and I were talking about amongst ourselves. But this next question we asked because we know a lot of you, as well as ourselves, feel this way. She used social media to set up the unaliving of her mom, so why is she allowed on it still? Especially since she is making threats on TikTok lives while on parole, and also having other people, like the person in this picture here, making threats for her, or the minions of these two people in this picture making threats for her. And he said it was not part of her parole to stay off of social media or the internet or things like that, email or any things like that, any type of things like that. So, I mean, even though we don't like it, like we said, we're all not going to like some of these answers, but I mean, that's just what it is. So there's nothing we can do about that because it wasn't a part of her parole to stay off social media. But then we said when she went to California a couple weeks ago with Ken and several other places for interviews, why was she allowed to stay extra days to go to Universal Studios and other places like it's a vacation when it's supposed to be her supposed job.
He said if she has time to do those things while being out of town for an interview, we have no control over that.
Yeah. So apparently if she has time to go to Universal Studios while she's there for an interview or whatever, then it's fine. Which I think is absolutely ridiculous, but whatever. Y'all just remember, again, some of this may piss you off. It did us, and there's a lot more, we promise you, that we just cannot report on yet, like we were saying. But just remember and try to keep in mind and put it together that we have spoken and will be speaking again with the state level officials tomorrow. So y'all can kind of put that together. So we will be having more absolute and definitive answers as much as possible in the next few days. But then we said to her PO and his director, and now you're allowing her to go to Florida for Thanksgiving? Why is that? After the whole Universal Studios thing and all that, we were just wondering, now why are you allowing her to go to Florida for Thanksgiving? And he said, I don't know. I don't know if that's still going to be happening. So we don't know what that means. He wouldn't go into any further detail on it. But yeah. Kenny boy done had enough. He's done left her. They're broke up, whatever. So maybe that's what he meant by it. That, he doesn't even know if Dip Jip, Krusty Christy, and Daddy Rod are still going to Kenny Boy's dad's house for Thanksgiving in Florida or not, or if he's not going to allow her to. We don't know what it means. So then we said, we know it, like, we're not stupid. Like, the verbatim, we literally said, we're not stupid. We know it's kind of a don't see, don't tell kind of thing. But when she's posting it all over social media and telling everyone around her about it, I mean, you can't help but to have to say something. We deserve answers as people in society. So can you please answer these questions? And we said, is it because y'all don't want to have to deal with a high-profile case, so you're letting everything slide? Like, just basically letting all these things she's doing slide and just giving her warnings, saying, just make sure you don't break any actual laws. Like, don't go unalive somebody else, or don't, drive without a license or something. Just don't break any actual laws. Like, that's what we were meaning. So are y'all just doing that and letting it slide? And he said, no, we are looking into all of this and have been. So after he said, no, we were looking into all of this and have been, hubby and I got to thinking after we got off the phone, that maybe, it's what we all have been hearing about the PO done a surprise visit on her, and that's why her and Christy may be fussing and arguing, or why there may be chaos going on down there. We're not sure about that. We can't say that we know that for 100% sure. This is just something that we have been told by another source. So we wonder if that's what it's about. Like, if that's what that's about, him saying that they're looking into it and they have been, because we know it has nothing to do with the things that we've talked to them about, or the questions that we've asked and the things that we've talked to them about. It had absolutely nothing to do with that. So then we said, because you don't want is it because you don't want a parole attorney or someone higher than we were speaking with the we told the director, her parole officer's director, that we were speaking to him with this one, and we said, is it because you don't want a parole attorney or someone higher than you coming in and asking questions, going through paperwork on her or something like that? Is it something like that? And he said, and that's when the director, the director and the PO both were kind of taking turns answering these questions. But that's when sorry, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. But they were taking turns, kind of answering these questions and stuff. And, like we said, we were asking, do you not want them going through paperwork, a parole attorney or something like that, or her parole attorney going through paperwork on her or something like that? And that's when they said, again, no, we are looking into all of this and have been. And all of this, again, can go many different ways. It depends on the case, the person, and what I decide to do. That was the director that said that. That said, it depends on the case, the person, and what I decide to do. And that's when we said, well, we know, who you're talking. I mean, we all know, we all four are sitting here on this phone conversation. We all know who we're talking about, so you can't give a more definitive answer than that. And that's when he said, not at this time. So again, we will be talking to them again as well, but we're also talking to the state level people as well. Like we said, we just can't speak on that right now. We just cannot. So anyway, that was information we got from them. So we hope that helped clear up some of the questions and some of the things that some people have been wondering about, and that some people have asked, and that, where some people have been saying, they need to look back into her crime and things like that. I know we totally agree, but it has nothing to do with the parole office. Oh, and that was, I forgot this one last question. We asked them about that, do y'all have anything to do with looking back into her crime or things that she could be charged with or could have been charged with and wasn't, stuff like that? And they said no, that has nothing to do with them. So people that are bombarding them with emails and letters and different things that, list a bunch of stuff that we do agree with as well, has nothing to do with them. And it sucks, but they can't do anything about it. So all they are there to do is to make sure she does not violate her parole conditions that the parole board gave her when they told her that she would be released on parole when she was in Chillicothe in Missouri. So anyway, we hope y'all enjoyed this video. We didn't mean to make it too long. We hope y'all enjoyed it, and we will be having an update to this video with a more absolute definitive answers as much as possible to clear up some of these things that caused even more questions. We'll have that soon. Hopefully this week we'll have that out, as well as the Susan Smith thing. But we are gonna be posting the true crime story that had to do with someone that committed a heinous crime that we knew very well recently, that we just did not expect at all. That it was just that it's wild to know and find that out, then to know that happened. But anyway, so if you're not already subscribed, please make sure you subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, share it, and we would greatly appreciate it so very much. And again, thank you so much for the super thanks. We also received another gift. We'll explain that in another video. We got an email about it. You know who you are.
We're so excited about it.
Yes, yes, we're so excited to talk to you about it and go into further detail about it. But yes, it's someone that's been with us from the beginning that helped me with my speaking and stuff. So anyway, thank you so very much for that, because we are very excited about that. Thank you so much for the super thanks, and thank you so much to all of our subscribers that have been with us from the very beginning all the way to now, and all of our new subscribers. And we hope y'all enjoy. And we hope y'all have a good night. And God bless.
Have a good night. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.